Time. Hi. Have you ever faced new coffees and unsure the best recipe to extract it? In my case, it happens frequently. It's a classic coffee dilemma that inspired me to create a simple solution by developing a framework using one dependable variable. And I call this DLC, Density Level Compass. DLC is a framework that will guide you to the ideal range of brew ratio by focusing on density level of the roasted coffee. And if you take a look at the line graph, it will show you the relation between density levels and the brew ratio. And the trend line is derived from collective data on controlled extraction and density from various coffee. And it focuses on two beverages. First, the espresso focus range that will result between 20 to 22% extraction yield, while the milk focus range will result between 18 to 20% extraction yield. And I will put more details on each course later on. But for now, let's apply DLC to our coffee for today by measuring the density level of the roasted coffee. And it's simple. By preparing a cylinder cup, mine can hold up to 100 ml. Then we fill with the roasted coffee until it reaches the brim. Level it, and then we weigh it. To get the density level, we divide mass of the coffee with the volume of the cup. So the density level of our coffee for today is 0.410 grams per ml. With this, we can start to implement to our first course, our espresso focus. And if you take a look, we will start from the bottom, upwards to the intended beverage, our espresso focus, and straight to the brew ratio. And if you take a look at the right side of the booklet, referring to the DLC, we will be extracting this coffee using the guideline. And I'll be extracting using 21 grams in and ranging out between 44 to 50 grams out. This higher range of brew ratio is to highlight the complexity of the coffee while maintaining the intensity. Opting for shorter yielding will highlight those stone fruit flavor with rounder body, while higher yielding will open up more the citrus flavor and the florality with a tea-like texture. And today, to strike those perfect balance, I'll be extracting at 45 grams out, which in your cup, you will taste like sun-kissed orange, white grapes, and jasmine tea finish. It has silky body, juicy texture, with long lingering of lemon black tea finish. It has medium to high acidity, medium sweetness, and medium bitterness. So when I hand you these drinks, I would ask you to assess the visual only. So, before we take a sip, let me introduce you to our coffee for today. It's a geisha from Elida Estate in Panama, grown at 1800 meters above the sea level. And this coffee undergoes a meticulous wash process. After depulping it, they ferment it together for 36 hours, highlighting those vibrant acidity, allowing us to roast it with a slower approach, achieving the first crack at 8 minutes and 30 seconds with development time of 18%, ensuring the clarity in your cup. Now, to enjoy your espresso, I would ask you, there's no stirring needed. So go straight, swirling 5 times vigorously. The shape of the cup will help you to aerate the espresso, cooling down the temperature and enhance your experience when you're drinking it. And please, take at least 2 big sips. Enjoy. So judges are ready? Let's move on to our next course, our milk focus. Using the same coffee and the density level, we will be applying again to the DLC. Starting for the bottom again, towards the intended beverage, our milk focus, and straight to the brew ratio. And if you take a look at the right side, referring to the DLC milk focus guideline, I'll be extracting using 21 grams out and ranging between 38 to 44 grams out. The shorter range of brew ratio is to find the perfect intensity of the coffee to balance with the milk. Opting for shorter yielding will highlight those stone fruit prominent flavor, while higher yielding will open up more the complexity and giving those berries quality flavor. And to find the perfect balance, I'll be extracting using 40 grams out, which in your cup you will taste of Lamington cake and caramel cookie. If you're not aware about Lamington cake, it's basically a vanilla sponge cake that is dipped with a chocolate icing with desiccated coconut. And to elevate the milk beverage itself, I'm blending two types of alternative milk that undergo an evaporation process using hot plate magnetic stirrer at 90 degrees Celsius for 2.5 hours, reducing the water content until 15%, ensuring the sweetness and the texture of this coffee. And you can go straight and enjoy it. Please enjoy. So I have blended 57.5% of oat milk and 42.5% of coconut milk. This specific ratio is to get that maltiness and the sweetness of this milk, bringing this milk beverage to a dessert-like texture. Shaky, shaky, please enjoy. Sorry. Please enjoy. So, are you guys ready? DLC came through my realization that density is crucial for coffee extraction. Through small research, we found that lower density coffee works well with lower brew ratio, while denser one needs to be extracted with higher brew ratio for optimal extraction. Aligned with the SCA standard, we set our ideal extraction window between 18% to 22% extraction yield, with a time frame between 15 seconds to 30 seconds. As we found, this is the most effective and applicable to most of the coffee that we tried. And I specifically chose density because it uniquely highlights the physical and the chemical characteristic of the coffee. Inside the coffee beans, there's a cellulose structure that resembles just like a honeycomb, just like the placemat in front of you. And if you take a look, Inside each pores, there's a colorful small particles representing the chemical soluble, key factor for flavor development. And these characteristics are heavily impacted by the terroir, processing, and roasting approach. So for my signature course for today, I'll be creating 3 different layers of densities, each representing our key points of our run today. DLC has helped us to achieve the full potential of this coffee. And only using this coffee, I'm able to highlight those rich complexity, like berries. So I've selected 2 berries that are similar density levels, just like our coffee itself. And I will utilize the DLC extraction principle to mimic the outcome of each course. So let's start with the foundation. 2 foundations of DLC. Starting by chilled espresso, using the same recipe as your espresso course. 21 grams in and 49 grams out. This is to highlight the complexity. And second, to represent the caramelization in roasting approach, is coffee saccharome that I made using equal part of coffee puck from the same coffee and a mix of sugar and Papuan honey from my home country, Indonesia. This layer of sweetness will bring new flavors. That reminds me of chocolate-coated berries. I will serve you these drinks with a slightly cold temperature to open up more the aroma and the flavor. On to next, to represent the DLC milk focus extraction, is blueberry creme that I made using by reduction 2 parts of blueberry juice and 1 part of sarsaparilla to add depth of sweetness, and add half part of cream. This is to mimic the lower range of brew ratio and bringing new flavor from blueberry to strawberry yogurt. And after I call my time, I would ask you to take, please, at least 2 big sips, swirling for 10 times between every sips. I would ask you to do this so you can taste that transformative flavor and incorporate all the layers. And lastly, to represent our DLC milk focus extraction, is cranberry foam that I made using 10 parts of cranberry juice and 1 part of lavender tea to represent the foundation, to represent the varietal of the geisha. Add 2 grams of soy lecithin as an agent to produce foam. This is to mimic the higher brew extraction. It is silky, it is aromatic, bringing new flavors of rose. Density encapsulates the journey and the story of each chain, starting from the farmers to the roasters, and we share it together through flavors with you, our customer, and our friends. My dream is to help all baristas around the world through this framework to deepen their understanding for what coffee has to offer. And let's celebrate by achieving the best in every cup. I'm Patrik from Indonesia, and please enjoy. Time.
Fantastic work to all.